Hello guys, it's your boy Richie Trade. Welcome to my channel again today. So today I want to show you guys how I was able to catch this beautiful trade on BTCUSD. So stay with me while I walk you through how I was able to catch this trade. My trading actually follows a very simple approach. I don't like complicating things for myself. I know while I was starting to trade, I made a lot of mistakes. I used to confuse myself with trend line, different indicators, moving average and all of that. But after I learned how to trade the SMC trading strategy very well and become very conversant with the strategy, everything changed for me. My trading changed, the way I see the market changed, the way I analyze the market changed. So this is actually how I trade. So it's basically, let's say this is our structure. Price came back down. Yeah, this is a lower, this is a then we get, let me make it this way. Price gives us a break of structure right there. So this is a break of structure. That's the break of structure. Price will now, after this break of structure, price will now come back down, and take out inducement and possibly come down maybe to the lowest POI that might be here, and to now give you a change of character. After the change of character, what happened? I will now get in once price comes back down to retest on the other block that it might have left here, and then I will now aim for my high. So that is exactly how I trade. I don't complicate things for myself. I just go to the market. I establish my market structure by marking out my lows and my highs, and after I've marked out my lows and my highs, I want to mark out my POI. This is my POI right here. This is my POI right here, and then I want also to mark out my inducements. Here is my inducements. Now some people might get confused with this inducement of a thing. You see, it doesn't mean that price must take out an inducement for you to establish a swing point. No, price must not take out an inducement for you to establish a swing point, but a swing point is more valid when price has taken an inducement off that point. It is more valid. For instance, even if price comes back here, just like this, and react here and come back up, this swing point you're seeing here is still going to be valid. Even though price did not take inducement, it's still going to be valid. What matters is that price has expanded to a very reasonable length. Price has given a reasonable expansion that makes the next trading range becomes tradable. Now the only thing that is going to make me not take a trade, not take a buy from this particular zone, so as it is now, if price comes down here, if price comes back down here, I can happily take a buy from that place and then consider this guy my inducement. Now the only scenario where I will not want to take a buy from the lows if price did not take inducement is only if something like this happens. Let's say this happened, price did something like this. Oh, excuse me. Is if price do something like this and goes back up. Can you see? Now if price does something like this, I won't be able to come here to take a buy. No, I will not be able to come here to take a buy. Why? Because the price did not pull back even up to 50%. If you take your fifth tool and measure it from that high to that low, you see that price did not pull back up to 50%. So before I take my buy from any low, that low must have pulled back at least 50% of the price leg before I can take the trade. That low must have pulled back at least 50% or more before I can take the trade. So if this guy does not pull back beyond this 50% level into a POI, I'm not going to take the buy. But if it does pull back down into this POI, even if there is nothing like an inducement that was taken, I can look for a good confirmation right there. I can look for a confirmation right there and take the buy back to the upside. Don't know if you get. So there must not be an inducement before your low will be valid. But then a low is more valid when there is an inducement taken. So I just hope this little chart I have drawn here is understandable. If it is understandable, then this is exactly how I take my trades. So now let's go into the live chart and see how I combine these things to make my trading decision. Follow me gradually as I go through this analysis all over again, so you guys can see exactly how I was able to catch this sell trade on BTCUSD. So let's get to it. Alright, so I will first of all take out all of this drawing on my BTC. Let me just take out this. Let me take out the sell position tool as well. All right, so here we are on BTCUSD on the 4-hour time frame. Oh, let me just take out every damn thing already. All right, so here it is. We all know BTC has been selling, or it has been trading downward for a very long time now. So but currently it is in a position where it might likely want to bounce from, where it might likely reverse into a buy from. But in the meantime, there is no clear confirmation that BTC is about to buy. So until that confirmation comes, we'll still follow the current trend of the market. So this position of BTC currently, okay, let's go to the weekly time frame so we can mark out the position of BTC currently. As you can see, currently BTC is on a very good demand where it might likely start buying from, and for the fact that the previous sell move to the downside couldn't close below the previous leg completely, shows that there is an intent of buyers to step into the market from this particular zone where it is currently. But the buy move has not been confirmed yet, so we keep following the current trend of the market. So having marked out this zone, let's now go over to our 4-hour time frame to see what we can mark out. So here we are on the 4-hour time frame. As we can see, from our 4-hour time frame, this was a low. We see price broke this low in our demand. I'm not going to mark this as a break of structure here on the 4-hour time frame, because if you look at the 4-hour time frame, price did not completely close below this low. It kept sweeping. It was just one sweep after another it swept this low, pushed back upward, came back down, and also swept this low again. There was no clear close below. So from our 4-hour time frame, I cannot mark that as it is a confirmed lower low, because this low is very much lower than this other low. So this becomes a lower low, signaling that price can still be bearish. There is also the potential of price coming back down and sweeping this low, as there is also the potential of price coming back up and breaking this particular high to switch into a bullish trend. So what do we do in a market like this when we see that the 4-hour structure is not giving us any clear swing that we can work with? What can we do? It is best for us to go down to a lower time frame so we can best understand what is going on in this particular place, because we can't make any trading decision right now based on the 4-hour time frame, because the 4-hour time frame has not really given us any significant thing for us to trade based on. So we now move down to a lower time frame. My lower time frame for trade analysis is always the 15 minutes time frame. So let's get to the 15 minutes time frame and see how or what we can read from these little swing structures on the 4-hour time frame. So here we are on the BTCUSD 15 minutes time frame. Alright, so this was our place. From the 15 minutes time frame, this was a lower low, and this lower low we can call here, you can take it from this place. From here down here was a break of structure giving us a lower low. Let me take the 4-hour one out. So we had a break of structure here which gave us a lower low, and then price pushed up again. Price pushed up, giving us a lower high right here, and let's see if this low was taken out eventually. Okay, price came back, gave us another lower low, taking out this price leg. So price came back here, gave us another lower low. That's the break of structure again, and eventually from the 15 minutes time frame, this was our chalk zone where price switched bullish. So we had a 15 minutes chalk right there where price switched bullish. After the chalk, what did we see? We kept seeing price kept making series of higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, price couldn't break below, it came back down, reacted, and then eventually price gave us a higher high, it came back down, put a higher low and a higher high. And now let me point out something from here. Let me mark from here so that we can actually see what price is doing. So that was a break of structure. Where was our change of character? This here is our change of character point after the break of structure. Our change of character point. So this is our higher high, this is our higher low. If price breaks beyond this place, we know that the price is switching back bearish. That is what we are here to, that is what this place is telling us, that if price breaks beyond this place, price is switching bearish all over again. But for the meantime, we are bullish, we have a higher high. This was all of this were just bearish retracement. All of these were just bearish retracement. So price gave us a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Let's see if it eventually break. Okay, so price didn't break this place. Price did not break. Let me zoom in out so that you can see. Did it? Okay, price eventually changed character. Price eventually changed character here, having given us a break of this change of character zone and closing below it. Let me zoom it out again so you can see. So price closed below our change of character point, making this a valid change of character still on the 15 minutes time frame. You understand? Still on the 15 minutes time frame. So this break of structure confirmed to us that this our high at this point here is confirming to us that this our high at this point here will be another change of character point for price to switch back bullish. Now I know it's a bit confusing. I'm going to explain what I mean by at that point now. Now let's go back again to the highest point that price got to before the bearish retracement, and let's analyze what's going on there. Now price bought all the way to this high. This was the highest high that price got to before the retracement started, and then we see price came down, take out inducement. These are our inducement points. Price takes out inducement. Price takes out inducement. It pushed up. It reacts around this little supply zone here, and it came back. It broke structure. It pushed back up again, take out inducement, came back down, break structure, giving us a clear bearish short-term trend. Now this is a bearish trend, as you can see, because price is breaking structure, is pulling back up, taking out inducement, and is coming back down to break the next structural low again. So this becomes a bearish trend inside our bullish trend. Now if this bearish trend that we are seeing here goes on to take out our strong low, remember this is our strong low that we are looking at, this is our strong protected low that we are looking at. So if this bearish trend comes all the way down to take out our structural low or our strong low, it therefore means that we have switched bearish overall. At the same time, since this our bearish trend is beginning to expand larger, it therefore means that it is a trend that can be respected. That is to say, now for instance, this guy came back up, take out inducement from this place. This guy took out inducement from this place. And at the same time, it reacted around this supply zone here. It therefore means that if, for instance, let me say I was hoping to buy and then price got to, let's say, this POI around here. Let me just take for instance, price got to this POI around here. I will not have any business with buying until this particular high here has been taken out, because it is a structural high as well. It is a very valid high because it has taken inducement and it reacted from a POI and it broke structure again to the downside. So I can't think of buying anything around this point if price has not taken out this guy here. And if I'm to buy, let me say I want to go aggressive, I just want to buy, it therefore means that my take profit has to be within this POI zone here. I have to take profit around this POI zone. I cannot say I want to hold on till here it's broken and price will return back high to the other high again. I can't do that. That is a very wrong way to trade. So whenever you see a clear structure set up like this on the chart, you don't need to trade against it. You need to trade in the direction of the trend, except there is a change of character in the sense that price has reversed and broken this structural level here. That is when we can now start considering buying when price returns back to the discount side. I hope that is clear. So what am I trying to say? Right now, inside our bullish leg, price has set up a bearish trend that is being signified by these higher lows, by these lower highs and lower low that price has been creating. So we see that price made another lower high, broke structure, give us a lower low, come back up, give us a lower high, came back down, break structure and gave us a lower low. So price has set up a clear bearish trend. It therefore means that we can also pay reference to this new structure that price has formed inside our overall structure. We can pay reference to this particular structure. Why can we pay reference to this particular structure? It is because the trading range or the swings or the trend that price has presented is tradable. It's tradable. The expansions are very high, the expansions are very wide, so it is tradable. Imagine you getting in a trade around this point and holding it to this particular point. That's some good RR. You understand? That's some good RR. So whenever we see that the trading range that price is presenting is reasonable, is good enough, is tradable, we need that. Then we need to pay reference to such trading range as they can they can be used to make a very good trading decision. So having said that, we are now going to mark this particular low as our break of structure. Right, our internal break of structure. Mark it as you please. I mark it as my IBOS. Internal break of structure. So it therefore means that if price comes back up to take out this high, our structure will be switching back bullish. Until this high is taken, I wouldn't want to trade anything bullish. I wouldn't want to buy anything until this high is taken out. Remember, when price took out this low, price also took out our main change of character zone. This is telling us that the bearish pressure is strong because price broke its internal structure, giving us a break of structure, and at the same time it broke our change of character zone, signifying that the trend, this bullish trend that was set up in the market, has now reversed into a bearish trend. So we can now be looking to sell again. So this high becomes our POI. We can now look for our POI around this side. This low was swept. We can't find a very clear POI right here. We can't find a very clear order block right here. So it is okay to go to a higher time frame to see if we can get a very good order block around that zone. On the 30 minutes time frame, we have a order block that expands to this level. Let's also check out the 1 hour time frame and see if there is a clear POI there. Okay, so I think we go with the one we found on our 30 minutes time frame. We go with the 30 minutes time frame POI. So we go with this one. All right, so there we are. So the moment I saw this was what I did. I marked out my POI and kept. So I'm not going to lie, I got stopped out here. I got stopped out on this trade. Yeah, there's no point lying. After price got into my POI, the moment I saw this break of structure right here, notice this was my first confirmation. I had a swing low right here. So price came here, took out this low, came back up, Price took out this low, came back up, reacted, came back down, break structure again, broke structure again right here. So that was when
at my POI right there and went in for my sell position before the unexpected happened.
because we have an equal high right here, I decided to put my stop loss above this other high right here because of the equal highs we have there. So this was my entry for this trade and my stop loss was up there. I only succeeded in getting my 1:2, and I'm not a break-even kind of trader, so I didn't take. I got stopped at that. There was nothing like to say I got out on break-even. So, but I did take my 1:2 around here. I did take my 1:2 around somewhere here. After my 1:2, I waited for price to come to my final TP. I was very sure of this trade, so I decided to hold it all the way down here, and my 1:5 was still in place, no doubt. I still had my 1:5 around. Yeah, I had my 1:5 right there, and my full TP was around this point. But after my 1:2, price reversed, came back up, and wiped me out. So the moment that happened, I discovered something. I discovered that price is also setting up another bullish trend inside our bearish trend. Because right here we can see a low here, we can see a higher high right here, we can see a higher low, and then price eventually came to give us a higher high at this point. And price did what? Price swept our POI. It swept the POI completely and returned back and closed inside. This was where I got the signal that this price is ready to sell, because anytime price sweeps your POI and close back inside like this, it shows that the sell is going to be massive, because price has taken lots of liquidity. Imagine the liquidity that price took from the early sellers that sold around this place. Price swept them out and then still came back and swept the liquidity from the POI. Sellers that decided to sell directly on the POI, price also went there and swept them out, giving the market enough liquidity to fuel the sell move. After that, what did price do? We see an internal change of character right here. We saw an internal change of character right here. After a change of character, I didn't buy around this place because this is not my session. I don't trade around this period. In fact, I wasn't even on the chart around this time. But during my London session, when I came to the chart, that was where I got my entry. When I came to the chart during my London session, I saw the break of structure right here. I saw price came back, swept this high during the Asian session. Price swept this high and came back in, and then price came back to this high again during the London session, and I saw this break of structure right here. I saw this change of character rather. That was when I knew that this trade was ready for me to take. So I just picked my order block for the sell, picked it out, and placed my entry right here. Cover the top of my order block, and that was it. I got my 1:2, and then I extended it for my 1:5. Yeah, I think it was around this low. Yeah, my 1:5 around here. And then after my 1:5, I decided to go for the full low. Tried to come for the full low, and that was how I grabbed my 1:12 right here. That was how I grabbed my 1:12 right here. So this is just how you trade. It doesn't have to be too much. It doesn't have to be too much for you. The moment you just spot your change of character in your key POI, then you can go in, take your trade, aim for the low, and then you expect your TP. So guys, that was how I caught this trade on BTCUSDT, and then the trade is still bearish. I believe you're coming down. We are coming back to this low. Note, you are coming back to this low. There is no two ways about it. We are coming back to this low. I just don't like holding trade for too long. That's why I didn't aim for this low again. I just decided to cut my trade, cut my TP around this first low where price could react from. So that was what happened. Now we can see that price is even giving us, price has pulled back up and created another low right here and pulled back down. So probably tomorrow we can look for another POI where we can continue taking the sell from. But this was it for yesterday. So thank you so much for watching. Please, I would like you guys to leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you notice, tell me whatever view you have to share your views with me, and please subscribe to the channel, help me grow. Thank you very much.